Welcome into Honorado Bagnardi. Chris Honorado, Sean Bagnardi. Where are we, Bags?
We're at Alpenhaus Ski Shop in Amsterdam, and it is ski season here, man. They have got a rack of skis. I'll head over there for one of our segments. It is incredible, man. You've got to see the layout here, the selection. If you are, we've talked about it, if you're a summer sports person, whatever. If you are a winter sports person, no better place to be than Alpenhaus, man.
Yeah, it's true. We're in Amsterdam, and this is an Amsterdam-packed show. How about that? I mean, the Heck family and Andy and his sister Katie, and they do great things with Alpenhaus, and they've got the fitness center, which is next to the ski shop where we are. They've got the RV shop, which is just down the road. They do great things in the community of Amsterdam, and so does our guest on today's show. The CEO of Sticker Mule, Anthony Constantino, will join us here as well. We'll give you an inside look at Alpenhaus as they make the change from, like you said, bag summer and fall to hardcore winter. You'll walk around a little bit. We've got video to show you too, as well, to give you kind of a look if you have not been here on Route 30 in Amsterdam yet. It's Honorado and Bagnardi. We got Aaron Rodgers. Is he going to play, for crying out loud? I don't know. I think that he could make it in time. Is it the smart thing to do? Will Odell Beckham Jr. have a new team by the weekend? We'll talk about those. And, of course, we'll give you our NFL picks here on the show. Let's get it going, Sean.
This is Honorado and Bagnardi, brought to you by Alpenhaus.
Cage Wars returns to the capital region, Rivers Casino, and we will talk with Sticker Mule CEO Anthony Constantino. They are the title sponsor of Cage Wars 49 on November 20th. It's a Saturday night. And we'll also talk with one of the fighters whose nickname is Cloud Hammer.
It's a great nickname. If you and I were going to go head to head in a cage, what do you think?
I think it would be ugly.
I have the length on you, but you're tougher. I think you're scrappier. I don't know. It would be a battle, man.
I'm older, perhaps more brittle.
Perhaps.
Hard to say.
Do you have any experience in the
No, what are you kidding me?
Well, no, that's not
true.
You and I both have experience in the gym, of course, with our guy, man. When we did the boxing and you were getting punched and juking and jiving, yeah. I mean, come on.
Would you rather get into a boxing ring with a very proficient boxer or into a cage and octagon with an MMA?
No, I'd rather take my chances with the boxing.
Yeah.
Because you can sort of dance around the ring a little bit. I mean, look, there's way too much of that in MMA. Guys just kind of dancing around. But you get in that grasp, you're done. You're done.
Here's my thought on it, and it'll be my last thought. I would rather face a boxer because they could only hit me with their fists. In MMA, I could get a knee, a foot. I'm good.
And there's a little bit more padding in that boxing glove, right? I mean,
yeah.
MMA, you're basically just taking the direct fist there. So that, no, not good.
Yeah, I don't know that that's enough for me to say there's a little bit of padding in a boxing glove, but yeah, okay. Can the Packers win on Sunday, Bags, without Aaron Rodgers practicing this week? He's eligible to come back off the COVID list, being an unvaccinated player. The first day back in the facility would be Saturday.
Yeah.
Can the Packers beat the Seahawks, who will have Russell Wilson back at quarterback, oh, by the way? Can Green Bay win this game Sunday afternoon if Rodgers doesn't practice one single moment?
Of course they can. Is he going to play is the question. And if the answer is yes, then
Would you play him? He can't practice all week. He hasn't done a lot of physical activity in the last 10 days. Would you put him out there?
I would be not playing him for other reasons, but yes, if he's going to be out there, I'm not going to not play him because he can't practice. Who cares? Does this guy need to practice?
Why
to be effective?
Would you play him otherwise?
Because he's a clown.
Okay, but come on. You and I are above that.
Are we?
Yes.
I don't know.
I think while a guy is on our team, we view it from a standpoint of, does this person give me the best chance to win? And if the answer is yes, they play.
Kyrie Irving's not playing.
Yeah, but if he was eligible, you would want him on the court.
I'm not sure I would. And he is eligible. He's eligible to play in road games. And the Nets have said you're not playing in them.
Okay.
Look, I think, yes, to answer your question, does he need to practice in order for him to be successful? This is Aaron Rodgers. He's fine. He can go out there injured if you want him to be. He can go out there at 75%. He can go out there with zero practice for 2-3 weeks in a row, and I'm going to like my chances with him on the field to win a game against any opponent versus if we don't have him. You don't agree after all you've seen out of him?
Oh, no. Listen, I think he doesn't need to practice. I mean, look, the quarterback is different. We saw Plaxico Burress. Remember years ago, Plaxico Burress didn't practice at all, basically the second half of the season and into the playoffs. The Giants went and won the Super Bowl. That was the year they beat the 18-0 Patriots. Burress was banged up, and he just didn't practice. But by like Friday, he would do the walkthrough, and then he'd go out and play on Sundays. The quarterback, different story. I think Rodgers and any quarterback for that matter would have to practice throughout the week to keep that rhythm and timing with his receivers intact. But for 1 week, I'll sacrifice whatever experience he doesn't get on the practice field, right? Okay, we need to win this game. We're 7-2. That was a tough one at Kansas City. Could have won that game. And so get him out there no matter how much time he's had on the practice field. That's my thought here is they need to win, and he gives you your best chance to win, practice or not.
Agreed. With all the distractions surrounding this team this season, really going back, of course, to the preseason with Aaron Rodgers. I say all the distractions, they're all Aaron Rodgers related, but he's, of course, your best player and arguably the best player in all of football when he's on his game. What are your thoughts on this season for them? What do you think? I mean,
Super Bowl.
Is still the Super Bowl.
Absolutely, Super Bowl.
All right. So you're not worried at all?
Well, of course I'm worried. I live my life worried as a sports fan. Yes, of course. I mean, the NFC is really good. I know you love the Bucs still. Look at how good the Rams are despite losing to the Titans at home on Sunday night. The NFC is deep and it's dangerous.
It is.
But Green Bay has pretty much everything they need, almost, and I'll get to that in a second, almost everything they need in order to win a Super Bowl. Sam says Rodgers has to play. No other good option at the position. Yeah, Jordan Love struggled. I get it. Let's relax, people. The first game action of his career, really. Steve asked, does anyone really care? Yeah, the Aaron Rodgers story has been leading nightly national newscasts. It's been on the Today Show. People are talking about Aaron Rodgers and the influence of him not being vaccinated. The NFL coming down, what I say, pretty darn lightly, bags $14,000, $15,000 fine for Aaron Rodgers. I know the Packers overall $300,000, but for Rodgers, what's $15,000? Nothing.
No big deal. Yeah. So we talked about the Rodgers unvaccinated thing last week, and now since then we've of course had his reaction to that, his response to that. So I know it's a little dated now, but I want your reaction to what he had to say on the McAfee show there.
I think it's very evident with how quickly he tried to do a little bit of damage control after his initial comments, right? He went on the Pat McAfee show on Friday. By Tuesday, he was basically apologizing for what he said, the way he handled that show appearance. And so even if it's just backtracking for the sake of PR saving, it just, man, it felt very tone deaf from him. Very, very tone deaf from him. And again, I'm only going to make this one point, okay? Because I'm tired of talking about vaccinated, unvaccinated. My issue is not with the fact that he is unvaccinated. My issue is with the fact that he is one of 53 every Sunday bags trying to win a football game. And if you want to be a good teammate, you either get vaccinated or you do all of the necessary COVID protocols laid out by the NFL. I'll bring up Andrew Wiggins again. Wanted to play this season for the Warriors. San Francisco area says just like Kyrie, if you're not vaccinated, you can't play home games here. He didn't really want to get the shot, but guess what? He did it because he wanted to be a good teammate, because he wanted to be on the court. Now, Rodgers could play unvaccinated, obviously, but he wasn't wearing a mask where he was supposed to.
Yeah.
He wasn't following a lot of those NFL protocols. So I don't care if you get the shot or not, people. I really don't. That is your personal choice. Fine. But if you're going to stay away from the vax, then Bags, you better wear the mask.
Yeah, and he was obviously. I thought it was interesting to learn that, and I guess I take him at his word when he says that he's allergic to something that's essentially in what would have been the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine, so he couldn't get that one. And frankly, I don't blame him for being a little bit put off by J&J, especially at that time when there were some concerns about that.
I mean, there were 6 cases.
No, I get it. But also just the overall effectiveness of that vaccine versus the other ones was not as high. So whatever. I mean, I guess like I said, I think I believe him when he talks about being allergic. Now the whole him saying, I'm immunized in a press conference. Like there was clearly deception on his part. And then he tried to, like you say, do the damage control of making it seem like, no, I'm innocent here. I'm the victim. I was always open about things. If there was ever just a follow-up question. No,
right.
That doesn't work. And I'm not saying you have to answer the question of like, no, I'm not because I'm allergic and you have to divulge all your health issues. No, of course not. But there was obviously deception on his part, and the way he reacted to really make himself the big victim of everything with how people reacted to hearing the news that he was unvaccinated and was going to miss a game, I thought that was a little much for him.
Look, he would have been completely transparent initially if he was ready to deal with what he knew would be public blowback.
Right.
He wouldn't have used terminology like, yes, I'm immunized. Right. It would have been, no, I'm not vaccinated, or yes, I am vaccinated. I mean, period. We all use evasive language when we know that maybe we're not prepared to deal with something publicly. And obviously in that time, Rodgers wasn't. So he used, yes, I'm immunized. That was thought up ahead of time. You don't just come up with that in the moment. So he knew how he was going to play this thing. All right. I said that I think the Packers are close to being the favorites to win the Super Bowl, despite the loss at Kansas City and despite all that's going on with Rodgers. Look, at the end of the day, guys get on the field. They're not going to be concerned about Aaron Rodgers, the teammate. They want to win.
Yeah.
The teammate stuff waits for the offseason, and there will be a conversation about whether or not having this guy on the team is good for the organization or not. We can address that down the road.
And cards on the table. When we talk about somebody being a good teammate or a bad teammate, you and I can agree that he might be a bad teammate off the field, but on the field, he's a gamer, and he is a good teammate in that he's going to try to make the right play. I think he's probably a very selfish person behind the scenes, but certainly not on the football field. I think he's going to do whatever it takes for him to win and for his team to win. So I think he's a bad teammate, but a good teammate on the field.
So they're missing one thing potentially, and that may be somebody like Odell Beckham Jr. It's apparently down to 3 bags.
Yeah.
The Packers, the Chiefs, the Saints on Odell's wish list. Now that he is a free agent, the Browns cut him. Nobody picked him up on waivers, and so he can now choose his next destination. Let me ask you before, what's the best landing spot? Is Odell Beckham Jr., talk about the headaches of Aaron Rodgers, is Odell Beckham Jr. worth some of the drama that he will inherently bring with him wherever he goes? Is his play good enough still at this point at 29 years old, but after significant injuries to a knee and an ankle, is he still good enough where you'd say, you know what, bring on some of the drama because he's still that good?
Well, it certainly can be. I'd ask the question this way. Was Antonio Brown worth it for Tampa Bay?
100%.
Okay. So my immediate reaction is, yeah, the injuries, is the guy going to stay on the field? He is a headache. But then you have to think, in the right system, with the right pieces around him, I still believe he has talent. He has an incredible ability to make plays. Okay, so as a playmaker, if you put him in the right situation where he can make those plays, I think he can still go out there and make them for you. So I make the Antonio Brown comparison because it's like, yeah, get him. If Aaron Rodgers is going to be throwing him the football, or Patrick Mahomes is going to be throwing him the football, and he gets a chance to compete for a championship, brings out the best in him on the field, I think there's plenty in the tank. And yeah, if he stays healthy, you can say that about anybody. So yeah, I think given the right scenario, he can still be a big-time impact player, especially on a team that already has weapons. I mean, if you're worried about covering Devontae Adams, that's going to free up a guy like OBJ. So, yeah, I think he can still be very effective and help the team win.
Yeah, I don't know that he's great, and I don't. He was incredibly talented and electric with the ball in his hands. Was he going to be great in New York? No, I didn't think so. But I think he can be really, really good when he's not the focal point of the passing game. When you have a Devontae Adams or you have a Tyreek Hill / Travis Kelce, the New Orleans thing doesn't make sense to me unless they are going to give him a multi-year deal now. Unless they're going to say, hey, Odell, we're going to give you 3 years now, and we're going to meet the monetary number that you want now, as opposed to Green Bay's offer, which would be join us for the stretch run, prove you're healthy and can really play at a high level, and you'll go get a huge contract after that. Because playing with Trevor Siemian the rest of the year, Bags, being the focal point of that pass game, which is what he would be with Michael Thomas now done for the year in New Orleans, that to me doesn't make a lot of sense. Kansas City and Green Bay are better options than New Orleans right now, and they're better options even when Jameis Winston is healthy.
Yeah, 100%. And they're right. If it's about winning for him, those are obviously the two big options: the Green Bay and Kansas City, and I think those are the two spots where he could also have the biggest impact. So, yeah, this will be real interesting. I wonder if Green Bay doesn't also think to themselves, if he comes in here, he's a little bit of a distraction, or this just gives us something else to talk about. It's almost like a distraction away from the other distraction, which is Aaron Rodgers right now. It might not be the worst thing in the world. But I don't know that either, especially Green Bay or Kansas City here, really has much to lose by bringing him in. I don't know that he can be that overwhelming of a distraction. We already have the distraction with Rodgers. We already have in Kansas City a year where you're not living up to the expectations that you want. I don't know if he's all of a sudden going to just spin wheel things, downward to where you're not a contender now for a championship. So I think it's very low risk, potentially high reward for both of those teams. I'd like to see him in Kansas City personally.
Okay.
I'd be more curious with the impact he can make there. But really, either team, Green Bay is really a major player in the NFC as we know, and of course Kansas City is. You can't just forget what Kansas City is and can be at their best, because they're not quite having the year we'd expect out of them. Either destination would be fun.
A quick roll call of people who are watching this morning. Yeah, Jason. By the way, Jason was our guest picker last week in our Pick Six, Pick'em, presented by Pick Six Vodka. We'll get to how I did, how Sean did, how Jason did. And, of course, we'll give our picks here coming up in about 10, 15 minutes or so. 15 minutes from now. Sam's watching as well. Carol, of course. We appreciate all of you guys watching each and every week. We have the NFL Pick'em, like I said, coming up in about 15, 16 minutes or so. We'll get into some of what's going on in the NBA here, too. If you look at the top of each conference, I would dare you to not act surprised based on preseason projections. If you look at the top of the East and you look at the top of the West, okay? And look, we're 3 weeks into this thing. I know it's early, but it's an eighth of the way. It's an eighth of the way there. And maybe some of these teams are not the team in first place in the East. I'm not going to buy into them. But like, look at what Golden State's doing. Maybe Golden State really is going to be a tough out in the West this year. They're a really interesting team here, especially obviously as they get Klay Thompson back at some point. We're live at Alpenhaus Bags, the ski shop in Amsterdam. We'll take you a look inside here, and man, they've got everything you could possibly want for whatever you do in the winter, be it skiing, snowboarding, cross country, snowshoeing, all the gear, Patagonia, Helly Hansen, Marmot, they are loaded up here in Amsterdam at Alpenhaus.
Oh, you want me to say something? Yeah, man, completely loaded up here. And as I mentioned, the with the skis, the gear, snowmobiles. You get four-wheelers over the other side. Maybe I'll take you out there since you're showing more of the inside stuff, the showroom. Maybe I'll go out there. Of course, have all the boats too out there. You can imagine. But if you want to, not thinking about the boating season right now, how about a snowmobile?
Yeah.
How about a snowmobile? Would you look good on a snowmobile?
No, probably not.
Really fun to try to do. I've never been on a snowmobile. That would be fun. So I'll show you a cool one they got back there.
I've never driven a snowmobile. I've taken a TV camera on the back of a snowmobile to get some cool video. That I've done. You asked if I would look cool on a snowmobile. No, I don't look cool in those settings at all. All right, when we come back here on Honorado and Bagnardi, we'll be joined by Sticker Mule CEO Anthony Constantino. It is a global brand that is based in Amsterdam, New York. It is one of the top 5,000 companies on the internet. Think about all the companies that are on the internet. It is that high up, and it does impressive stuff through beyond the world of stickers. And Anthony is a big proponent of combat sports in the way of boxing and wrestling and MMA, and what it did for him in his youth and what it continued to do for him really as a businessman from a mental standpoint. We'll also talk with Rich Cloud Hammer Perillo, who will get into the octagon next Saturday night at Rivers Casino during Cage Wars 49. That's coming up. Hang on. You're watching Honorado and Bagnardi.
Hey folks, DJ with Professional Fire Restoration, and we've been turning crisis into calm for a half a century.
Imagine waking up one morning and having your house on fire. Nobody ever thinks it can happen to them, but it happened to my family. The first thing I did was call Professional Fire Restoration. From start to finish, DJ was there every step of the way. Thank God I made the right call. They turned crisis into calm for my family.
When only the best will do, you know who to call.
Professional Fire Restoration.
Teams, athletes, organizations. We're transforming the custom apparel industry through product and purpose. Claim your crown.
And now, back to Honorado and Bagnardi. Brought to you by Alpin House.
Back on Honorado and Bagnardi. Shawnee, we are past Halloween, which is the scary season, but here's something spooky. We are in your households, people. If you can't watch us, or you just prefer not to watch us, we don't blame you. You can listen to us at home. Just tell Alexa, play the podcast Honorado and Bagnardi, and she will do exactly that. It'll play throughout your house, assuming you have multiple Alexas. So check us out on Amazon Podcasts, of course, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as well.
Yeah, looking at us, it might be better to listen, would be my guess. But you're going to want to see our two guests today.
Yeah, we had a boxer on however many months ago, Teofimo Lopez, and you asked him who has the more punchable face. Maybe you'll get a chance to ask one of our guests that question here as well. The founder and CEO of Sticker Mule is with us on today's show, and that is Anthony Constantino. And Anthony, man, it's good to see you. We did a little bit for TV on News Channel 13, but it's cool to have you on the podcast now. Sticker Mule is absolutely taking off. We see your commercials as well. But this is a cool thing you guys are doing to promote combat sports in the Capital Region, with Cage Wars and Sticker Mule being the title and presenting sponsor of that, man. First of all, how are you? And we'll dive into the rest of it.
Great. We had fun together last time, so hopefully we have fun today too.
Nobody got punched, which I was happy about.
No punching.
I didn't get pinned or anything like that.
No.
So first of all, let me ask you about why you wanted to be involved with Cage Wars here, which is coming up at Rivers Casino, and why that was important for Sticker Mule, your company, to really be behind it.
We need to bring more excitement to upstate New York. And, we got a problem with losing people, first of all, in upstate New York and in New York in general. And I view everything as a marketing problem. And people want to live in an area because of wages and jobs and education, but they also want to live in a place where they can have fun. And Cage Wars is bringing fun and excitement back to the area. We're trying to do similar things as well. And I think that was the driving force behind getting involved with them.
And along those lines, Anthony, I know this is what you did with Chris on TV, but for people who aren't familiar with that, tell us about what you guys have going on in Amsterdam right now.
So we just opened up a combat sports gym. It's free for anyone ages 13 and up. We want youth athletes, adult athletes, anyone that's interested in participating and training is welcome to come. And the thought behind that is I personally got most of my skills, my business skills, my life skills, whatever you want to call them, from sports. I wasn't the best student in the world, but I learned a lot from the sports environment and realized that a lot of kids connect better in sports. I mean, some kids connect great in the classroom or learn through other means, but a lot of kids learn through a sports environment. We wanted to give kids an opportunity to do that. And as far as combat sports goes, it's a difficult career path for athletes. There's not always great training facilities. There's not the support that's there, and we want to do more to support actual combat sports athletes, just for out of passion for the sport and love for the sport.
So Sticker Mules opens this facility called Combat Mules.
Yeah.
I know that isn't the end of it there in that particular building in Amsterdam, as you guys will continue to grow from a business perspective. But the cool thing here, and that I don't know that a lot of people realize, is it's free, Anthony. This is free
Yeah,
for
people
high
are
school
stuck on
students
that.
who want to get involved, man.
Well, we're in a great situation as a business, and we're going to get benefits from it. We actually, believe it or not, have a sizable budget for. So I'm an honest person. Everyone's like, "Oh, I do all this stuff for free," and the truth of it is, we have a sizable budget for helping the community, getting the word out about Sticker Mill in the community for the purpose of hiring, and we're able to transfer that budget and allocate it in a way that does more positive things than just buying ads and stuff like that. So this is it's a big attention getter for us that lets us achieve our goals, getting the word out, helping with recruiting, which is one of our biggest priorities, and at the same time doing something that I personally find fun and is beneficial for the community. And I know, as I said, I learned most of my skills through sports. In fact, I was just talking to somebody the other day, and a lot of the decision-making principles that I have that have guided me in Sticker Mill came from sports. I don't really recall too many that came from an academic setting. So I see tremendous value in sports for kids and adults alike. And so I think it's going to make a big positive improvement in the community while also helping us achieve our goals as a business, which is getting more people in the door.
Chris, do you think we could get Honorado and Bagnardi sticker, get a bunch of them and just plaster them throughout the capital region? What do you think?
Well, look,
I
I have a little bit of an idea, Bags, as we send some of our show swag to people, T-shirts, hats, or whatever. We send a sticker with it. That's the idea, right, Anthony?
Stickers is one of the best forms of marketing. People are coming to that realization, but when we started the company, they didn't have that realization. People spend, thousands and thousands, millions of dollars on Facebook ads and Twitter ads. People spend $6 billion on Twitter ads and get almost nothing. And you can buy a sticker for 15 cents and get way more attention than you'd ever get than those $1,000 advertisements on Twitter or any of these other platforms.
All right, let's bring in our second guest here, Bags, on today's show. You're watching Honorado and Bagnardi, and that is one of the fighters coming up here, Cage Wars at Rivers Casino. And by the way, tickets start at $50. Doors open 5 o'clock. The fights start at 6 o'clock, and it's Saturday, November 20th at Rivers Casino. Cage Wars, which has been married with Rivers Casino for a while, but it's good to have it back. And our fighter on today's show is Rich Cloudhammer Perillo. Rich, how are you, man?
Terrific. How are you guys? Thanks for having me on.
We're great. This is your Cage Wars debut, right? How excited are you to kind of get into the octagon and show what you've got in front of the Schenectady crowd?
Super excited. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. I'm lucky to have the opportunity. It kind of presented itself. I never thought I'd be here, and I'm excited. A little nervous. It's a lot to fight in front of a couple thousand people in your underwear. So it's there's that element to it too. But it's cool. It's something I love doing. So
I would think your opponent should be nervous. Tell us about Cloudhammer, the origin of the nickname.
So it's kind of complicated and stupid at the same time. It's something I made up. I don't really like my last name. I went through some just whatever and made it as a joke on Facebook. Like I don't know, a long time ago, like 12 years ago. Then deleted Facebook. My name was Richard Cloudhammer on Facebook, and then deleted Facebook. And then came back like, I don't know, 6 years later and forgot that I changed my name. And when I started going to my new jiu-jitsu school, everybody started calling me Cloudhammer. And I'm like, what are these people talking about? And it kind of stuck on life. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I changed my Facebook name to that. And it kind of just, I mean, now it's synonymous with who I am. I kind of like it more than my own name. So
how's your training been going, as we're really only about a week away here from you getting into the cage? How do you feel it physically and mentally as you approach this fight?
I feel great, actually. A lot of this was like kind of body management too, as well as training, just making sure I make it to the fight healthy. I feel amazing. I'm over training, like not over training as in, you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of done. I'm ready to fight. Like, I think I'm where I need to be. I just got to keep everything plateaued where I'm at. So, but I'm really ready. Training was awesome. Like what got me into this was just basically jiu-jitsu. I don't want to answer that question later, but like I'm doing a fight camps for a while now because I keep just trying to be a consistent sparring partner for my teammates when they fight. And then so I've been the last fight camp for the last Cage Wars. I was there. I mean, if not more as consistently as the fighters, just trying to keep them ready. And then I kind of just transitioned to my own fight camp. So I feel good.
Well, this might be a stupid question. I usually try to let Chris ask those, but I'll go for one here. What is it about the cage, right, in combat sports? Because we're so used to seeing a ring, right, in boxing and in wrestling. What is it about being inside that cage that is different and makes that kind of a special thing as a fighter?
To me, it's just the allure of it. I mean, like, boxing's cool, but it's clean in my perception, and boxing's amazing. It's a super science. I love it. Kickboxing is great, but it's something about a cage. It kind of brings you back to like almost like a gladiator type event. It looks more brutal, and it's not necessarily it is a brutal sport, but it's primal. That's kind of why I always wanted to do it. I competed in jiu-jitsu for a long time, and this is just the next evolution of like challenging myself. I mean, you look at. That's so cool. Look at the video. I mean, like, who doesn't want to fight in there? I mean, like, it just draws you.
I don't. I'll be honest with you. So what is it like, though, as we watch that video, if you were ever, God forbid, in that position where, like, you're in the bottom or you're in one of those grips where you're clearly at the disadvantage, what's going through your mind when you're in that situation? Is it about, like, surviving to the end of the round, or – you know, are you not even thinking? Are you just trying to react, or is it strategy of what move do I have to pull to get out of this move?
So I don't want to speak out of turn because I've obviously never been in there, but I've competed in jiu-jitsu plenty of times where the similarity in that position, if you're on the bottom, you train for that. Like my professor, Nels Larson, says, jiu-jitsu is the art of being comfortable with being uncomfortable. So at first you freak out when you're in that position. That hurts. You have a man who's hurting you in a dominant position, and it's scary. Your whole body is saying, I don't swear, but like, I need to get out of here. This is not good. But like, you know, you do this enough where you train enough where it just becomes ordinary. And you're just thinking like, okay, you feel their body weight move. You're looking for like a way to transition away from that to sweep them, which means like to push them so you're on top. Things like that, you know? So, I mean, it's definitely, obviously there's pressure there, but you train for that.
We had comedian Chelsea Handler on, Rich, so we are used to the bleep button. We got you covered.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. I was really nervous about that.
Right.
I swear,
no, you're good.
I'm white trash.
Yeah.
So like,
we can take care of that. Cage Wars 49, sponsored by Sticker Mule, coming to Rivers Casino Saturday, November 20th. Get your tickets now. $50. Doors open at 5. Fights start at 6, and they feature some regional fighters as well as some national fighters. And we've got Rich Cloudhammer Perillo with us on the show, as well as the founder and CEO of Sticker Mule, Anthony Constantino. Anthony, man, what do you, when you see the video there of MMA and the cage, what is it about this sport that you think just makes it so popular? Like, it has surpassed boxing in America.
I couldn't tell you that. I mean, there is an excitement there that's just different for me than with anything else. And the Cage Wars event in particular, I told people I've been to a few UFCs. It's more exciting to go to a Cage Wars. You could be right there ringside. You can almost you can hear the punches landing, which and it's a really exciting fun event.
Rich, what will get in the W in your first Cage Wars event, your first time in the cage? What will that mean to you if you walk away, which we're all sure you will, walk away with the win?
It'd be a symbol of a culmination of all the hard work and dedication that I've put in, my teammates have put in, friends and family have helped me get here. Like it's and just a big victory of like being brave enough to get in there. I mean, like just that once the cage door closes, like to me, that's like step one, a mission accomplished. Like it's a big event in my life, and I think a lot of people's lives to do that. It's the W would be a really good day.
All right, well, Rich, if you were to find yourself in the cage with me or with Bagnardi, who lasts longer?
Well, he lasts longer. You're saying
between me and you.
Oh,
okay. At the same time, probably me still, but I'm joking. I don't know, man. I think you guys should maybe Cage Wars 50. You guys can get in there and settle that yourselves.
Well, we need a cool nickname. We need the nicknames. Cloud Hammer is going to be tough to compete with. You'll have to have something tied to your.
You just got to make it up. I looked at like a fan. I was just like, what's a funny kind of name that's graceful and powerful at the same time? And I was like, Cloud Hammer. That's just, so you just got to make it up. Just,
My last name is Bagnardi. I'm going to go Windbag.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are exactly
you're
that.
You're already one step away from the cage now.
That's right.
You are exactly that, Sean. Rich, man, thank you for taking the time with us here. Good luck Saturday night again, November 20th, Cage Wars 49 at Rivers Casino. And Anthony, man, props to you for all the great stuff you and your company and your coworkers are doing for the community of Amsterdam, yes, but the capital region overall, man. It's really cool to see what you've been able to do beyond making stickers like we joked about in your gym.
Wondering what to do now that your Philips CPAP was recalled? Dr. Frederick Dreyer has a safe and effective alternative treatment for sleep apnea. Just pop it in and get a good night's rest. Keep your quality of life. Call the Integrative Sleep Center today. We work with all insurances.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, Genair, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
Get ready for winter fun at the 57th Annual Open House at Alpen House, going on now through November 15th. Up to 20% off select apparel from your favorite brands. Ski packages starting at $3.99. We have a large selection of ski and snowboard equipment and apparel with new product arriving daily. Shop our selection of snowshoes and cross-country too. Ski and snowboard leases still available, and kids 5 and under lease free. 'Tis the season at Alpen House, Amsterdam, and Clifton Park Center. Stop in today to get ready for winter fun. And now, your weekly NFL Pick'em, presented by Pick 6 Vodka.
All right, here we go. The NFL Pick'em, yes, presented by Pick 6 Vodka. And our thanks to the entire team at Saratoga Courage Distillery for sponsoring this segment, which we've been doing since week 1. You want to see some of the results from last week? I know Sean doesn't, but guess what? It's part of our responsibility here, Bags, in a time of transparency to show people how we are doing. And here it is. I was 3-3 last week. Our viewer was Jason Pulaski. He was 3-3 last week. Bags, you had the donut. Had the donut.
Dude, what is going on with that? The offer for me. Really embarrassing week. I knew heading into Sunday night I needed the Rams. And that's look, I'm not even going to try to justify how embarrassing that is.
Okay.
I'm just going to try to bounce back with a 6-0 week to cancel it out, because what else can I do, man? You got to get back on the horse. Or in my case right now, you fall off that snowmobile, you get right back on it.
Well, people can't see that snowmobile, Bags, because we are showing people how poorly we continue to do week in and week out. But there it is.
Yes.
There's the snowmobile that Bags was talking about.
This, huh? Dude, you mean to tell me you don't think you would look good on one of those? Look at those things.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Maybe I could actually pull that off. I don't know.
These ones in particular you're looking at are sold, so don't fall in love with these ones, but just get an idea of what you could be on out. How long until we get some snow? Not very long, man.
Not long at all.
I'm gonna get on the boat here. I'm gonna get on the boat for the picks.
All right, go ahead. Climb on up into the boat. Jason, good news, man, because you beat Sean and you tied me. A push goes to the viewer. So some pick six swag is headed Jason Pulatsky's way for his 3-3 week right here on Honorado and Bagnardi's NFL Pick'em, presented by Pick Six Vodka. Let's get it going here with the picks here this week, Bags. Bills at Jets. Buffalo. Woof. What the heck happened at Jacksonville? We thought for sure Bills will cover 14.5. I don't care how large the number is at Jacksonville. Yep. They'll win by at least 3 touchdowns. They didn't score a single touchdown. A 9-6 loss to Trevor Lawrence and the Jags. They are now 13.5-point favorites again on the road at your Jets, Sean.
Yeah, I don't know what happened against this was one of the reasons, one of the 6 reasons I took the over with Buffalo last week. The Jets also, though, because I was thinking off of their incredible win that they could certainly cover like a 10.5 spread against the Colts. No, they stunk. And I realized they almost covered at the end of that game in garbage time. They actually did almost get to cover that, but really that was a blowout. They were terrible. So this one I'm stuck. So what do? I'm going to pick against the Jets. I'm taking the Bills because you almost have to take the Bills and just chalk up last week to the outlier of the season. Expect them to get back to normal against a bad New York Jets team, who of course will be without Zach Wilson still. So no, give me Buffalo.
I'm on the Jets. It's a big number for me with a Buffalo team that in the last 2 weeks, the Jacksonville game is not standalone. The previous week, there were struggles as well from Buffalo's offense. I have worries about this Bills team, not long-term, but present day. So I'm going to ride with the Jets here and maybe try to steal one from you and our guest picker this week. Our viewer is Adam Howland Sr. So I'm on the Jets. You guys are both on the Bills in this one. Okay, I like my chances here.
Yeah, here's the good news for me on this one. The Jets have gone opposite of everything I have picked every week, I think. So if anything, this doesn't mean the Jets will win the game. Yeah. But they'll be in it against clearly the best team in the division, which would make it fun to watch anyway. Because that Colts game was not fun to watch.
Clearly the best team in the division. I think that's an interesting statement given what New England has done here. Winners of 3 in a row, now 5-4, and slight favorites at home at Foxborough, taking on the Cleveland Browns, who put up more than 40 last week against the Bengals. And maybe this Browns team minus OBJ, right? The addition by subtraction. Maybe this Browns team now is really what I thought they would be preseason. Picked them to go to the Super Bowl, lose to the Rams. Maybe Cleveland now figures it out, Bags, with OBJ gone. And that's why I am riding the Browns on the road this Sunday.
Well, I'm liking what I'm seeing here because I really need to make up ground. So I just need to pick opposite from you no matter what the picks are. But this basically a pick'em game, as you said, small spread. Patriots are at home. You talked about how they've been playing better. Yes, Cleveland, certainly in the preseason, very high expectations that they have not lived up to. Give me the home team in a close one, in basically a pick'em game.
All right, you and Adam are lockstep here so far. You're both on the Bills. You're both on the Patriots. Game 3 for us here. Saints and Titans. Saints got a win last weekend. They lose the Falcons. So the Saints dropped one to the Falcons. That was late, where it went back and forth. And the Titans. Speaking of wins, Titans are a team that got a win. That was a big time win for now what is the number 1 team in the AFC at 7-2, going to LA, beating the Rams on Sunday Night Football without Derrick Henry. Saints, Titans here. Where are you leaning?
Well, I don't love the Titans' long-term chances without Henry in terms of real Super Bowl contention. But they are not a one-horse show, one-trick pony. I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're a good football team, and that's a pretty small number for me against a team that I think they are a touchdown better than, especially at home. So I like the Titans here.
I like the Titans here because of the defense, and the defense was the issue last year. Was they had zero pass rush. Different story this year. They can get to the quarterback. The secondary has been really good, and so I'm on the Titans here. 2 bags to cover what is just 3.5 at home. Again, against the Saints team that I don't think is going to put up a lot of points. So give me the Titans here simply to put up 25 to 28. And in my mind, that's more than enough to beat the current version of these New Orleans Saints. Look, no matter who Odell Beckham Jr. picks, he's not going to be playing this weekend. So even if he chooses New Orleans, I'm not going to be worried about, but isn't OBJ going to be a factor for the Saints? No, he won't be. And Adam is on the Titans here as well. It's a clean sweep for Tennessee in that game. Falcons and Cowboys is our next one. Talk about disappointing. I mean, who was more disappointing last week to you, Dallas or Buffalo?
Buffalo, but I get it, man. It's a toss-up. It really is.
I mean, they were down 30-0 at one point to Denver.
I know. This is why for this week I'm going to take the Falcons to cover this spread. I think they're going to lose the game, but it was just a little bit too much for me, and it looks like for you as well.
Yep.
Where I think they're going to hang around enough, again, lose, but just enough to cover this spread.
Yeah, the Falcons aren't awful. And they've been playing a little bit better, like no Calvin Ridley, and I would have just chalked it up to, well, okay, this offense isn't going to figure it out, but Kyle Pitts is really good, that tight end out of Florida, the number 4 overall pick. Matt Ryan looks like he can still get it done. And by the way, just full disclosure, Adam is a Cowboys fan.
Okay.
So he's on his Cowboys, which I can respect. But 9.5 for me was too much. I have worries here that Dallas to cover or to win by double digits here against Atlanta, I'm just not on board with. I'll take the road team. I'll take the points. Underdogs did very well last week. I'm going to ride with them again this week.
I will say, though, that game is the one out of these 6 that I felt the least comfortable with. So I'm not thrilled that that's the one game so far that I'm opposite our guest picker. I feel like it could be shaping up for another loss for me this week. Against our guest picker. You can't be surprised that I don't have much confidence coming off the 0-6. But
no, that's true.
You got to stay positive. We're going to turn things around.
Well, we got 2 more games to go here, so let's see how we end up head to head against Adam. Bucks, Washington football team. Tampa Bay coming off the bye.
Yep.
On the road here against the team that I picked to win this division. How bad does that look now? Washington's defense has been a shadow of what it was in 2020. This one to me is, I know it's 9.5, but is there any question that it's going to be Tampa? No, we're all on the Bucks. Okay.
Not for the 3 of us. Yeah, you said it. I mean, you don't have to look much farther than the records here: 6-2, 2-6, and off a bye. Brady, the whole team rested up.
Yeah.
Extra time to prepare for this game as well. This should be a blowout, certainly a double-digit game, so they'll cover the spread.
Yeah, and Adam is on the Bucks here as well, so nobody different, no ground to make up with the 5th game. How about the 6th game? This is our final one. It's the Sunday night game on NBC and News Channel 13, of course. Chiefs get over the 500 mark by beating Green Bay last week. The Raiders fell at the Giants. So we got a 5-4 team in the AFC West against a 5-3 team in the AFC West. That division, you throw in the Chargers and the Broncos, man, they are all lumped together the way the AFC North is for the most part. This is a really important game, and you see Kansas City's favored by 2.5 on the road.
It's a really important game, which is in particular why I like the Chiefs, because they are the better overall team. This is a big spot, a primetime game, a game that, as you just pointed out, means an awful lot to this division and to the playoffs. The better teams always assert themselves in these kind of situations, and this is basically a pick 'em here. If the Chiefs are going to win, it's going to be by a field goal at least, you would assume. So I like that it's not a huge spread here that I have to take with the Chiefs. So give me Kansas City to win this game on the road and hopefully, man, start to get things going. We'll see about OBJ, but this team has got to do a little bit more between now and the postseason for me to be as high on them as I want to be. And I still think they're going to do that because to me, man, this is a Super Bowl caliber team that's just for some reason not there. But they've got to go win this game on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm with you. This to me is a must win. This is a game that Patrick Mahomes of last year and 2 years ago would go win. Now, look, Vegas is better than they were a year or two ago, but I'm not even talking about the opponent. I'm with you. I'm talking about the moment.
Yeah.
Prime time, needing a win, coming off a win, but they looked so bad a week ago against Green Bay, whose defense is fine. It's not great, but to get shut out in the second half when Jordan Love isn't moving the ball on offense either. Like the field position for Kansas City was good last week and they couldn't get points. There is something deep in the fabric of what's going on in Kansas City where there's a problem right now. Now, I'm still picking them to win this game because I just think they're too good. They have to figure out at some point. But if we get to January and they haven't figured it out at any point, I'm going to say, yeah, I'm not surprised because all the warning signs were there. I just didn't want to pay attention to them.
Yeah, this is too deep into it now where you say, well, there's no question they'll turn it around. There's a question, but I just think they are going to, and I think Sunday will be a win.
Okay. All right. There are your picks for the week. We got a final recap here of what we are doing in week 10. I'm alone on the Jets. I'm alone on the Browns. We're all on Tennessee. Adam's on his own with his Cowboys. We're all on the Bucks. We are all on the Chiefs. How's this going to shake out? We'll see. The standings are getting tight between Bagnardi and the viewer. So, Shawnee, your opportunities to make up ground here, there's only one. Am I seeing that correctly? Yes.
I'm not. Yeah, my target, though, is not the viewer moving forward. I got to catch you. I've got bigger things in mind here.
All right, well, here are the standings here. Again, I'm only 2 games over 500. This is nothing to be all that giddy about, but I've got a little bit of a cushion now.
I'm 10 games under, so you can be giddy all you want.
Not at 2 games over, that's for sure. All right, when we come back here on Honorado and Bagnardi, let's look at the NBA and where we currently stand 3 weeks in, some of the surprises, and we'll do kind of a weekly mental check-in with Bags and his Brooklyn Nets. Hang on, we're coming back right after this on Honorado and Bagnardi.
Wondering what to do now that your Philips CPAP was recalled? Dr. Frederick Dreyer has a safe and effective alternative treatment for sleep apnea. Just pop it in and get a good night's rest. Keep your quality of life. Call the Integrative Sleep Center today. We work with all insurances.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, Genair, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
Get ready for winter fun at the 57th Annual Open House at Alpen House, going on now through November 15th. Up to 20% off select apparel from your favorite brands. Ski packages starting at $3.99. We have a large selection of ski and snowboard equipment and apparel with new product arriving daily. Shop our selection of snowshoes and cross-country too. Ski and snowboard leases still available, and kids 5 and under lease free. 'Tis the season at Alpen House, Amsterdam, and Clifton Park Center. Stop in today to get ready for winter fun.
All right, back on Honorado and Bagnardi here, live from Alpen House Ski Shop in Amsterdam. Bags, we are in winter season. You are on a boat.
Dude, you see these boats, man. You be in here with me. We're gonna have to maybe move south and do it in this thing because it's not gonna go out on the ice.
No, and it shouldn't. But you were near some snowmobiles that would go out on the ice.
Yes.
We've shown off some of the skis here at the shop as well, the snowboards. And oh, by the way, if you're going out this weekend to watch some of the Week 10 NFL action, Orchard Tavern West. I know we've got viewers who are a big fan of Orchard Tavern. Tipsy Moose in Albany, our guy Robbie Terrio. Pam's Pub, check it out. Dinosaur Barbecue. And if you just want to enjoy a little bit of Pick Six vodka at home, maybe make your own mule at home, vodka soda, go to Empire Liquor as well. All right, Bags, our thanks to Pick Six Vodka, Saratoga Courage Distillery for helping us out with our picks each and every week. How are we feeling about the Brooklyn Nets these days? What have we learned from the NBA's first 3 weeks?
Well, okay. Overall, I feel fine about the Nets. Every week it's going to be the Kyrie thing is going to eventually get addressed one way or the other. He's either going to be back playing or he's not going to play, and I think they'd have to move him. We'll see about mandates and the new mayor in January, all that stuff. Overall, they look fine. Kevin Durant is by far the best scorer on earth. He is an incredible
better than
player.
Steph Curry.
Yes. James Harden is facilitating well. The team is fine. They're doing fine. They're getting good production off the bench from LaMarcus Aldridge. They're fine. What has surprised me about the first 3 weeks of the NBA, the parity, man, in the Eastern Conference, it's crazy. I mean, you have teams like Washington and Cleveland asserting themselves, and we know, I mean, the Bucks are far down, but we know they're going to be fine. The Knicks are tough. We know, you've got Miami, the addition of Kyle Lowry and how good that team is. This is not last year's Eastern Conference, even though you still have the teams like the Nets and like the Bucks who you expect to be there probably at the end of the day. But there are going to be no easy outs in the first round, certainly not in the second round. So it's an exciting time to be an NBA fan because of all that parity.
On this Thursday, which is Veterans Day, shout out to our veterans and thank you for all you've done. The Wizards and the Bulls are 8-3, at the top of the Eastern Conference in the NBA. Go out west, Golden State's 10-1, Utah is 8-3. So I'm not surprised that Utah is up there. I'm surprised that Golden State is 10-1 as we do this show on a Thursday. You watch us Saturday night on My4, a couple games later. But either way, the top of each conference is very different than we would have guessed in the preseason.
And Golden State, they're only going to get better, of course, when they add Klay Thompson back into the mix. And if that team accumulates enough wins to get, a home playoff series, I don't care who they're playing, man. That's a tough environment and that's a tough out. And Curry can go off on any given night. I mean, you saw what he did to poor Kevin Huerter and the Hawks. That's another team. The Hawks not living up to we expect them to turn things around and be there. Like, there are so many good teams in the East where you're going to have a lot of teams around that 500 mark who are actually pretty decent because everybody's going to beat up on each other.
You brought up Huerter's name. He had 28 the other night, but the Hawks still were unable to get the win at Utah. Sam wants to know, Bags, when are we having Ian Anderson on the show? I think you'll see a little bit of Ian next week. Will you, Bags?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
We're going to talk to Ian tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to catch up with him tomorrow. I want to make sure that you would still probably show a little bit of him next week, but you can look for our conversation with Ian Anderson just on the News Channel 13 social channels. Check us out there. We'll have a conversation with him coming up. And I am not here next week. I am on a little vacay, everybody. So you're stuck with Bags.
Enjoy it.
We appreciate you guys watching, as always, on the News Channel 13 Facebook page and on My4.